जय राधा माधवा कुंज बिहारी। राधा माधवा कुंज बिहारी। गोपीजन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी। गोपीजन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी। यशोदनंदन ब्रज जनरंजन। यशोदानंदन ब्रज जनरंजन। यमुना तीरावनचारी। यमुना तीरावनचारी। जय राधा माधवा कुंज बिहारी। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। जय प्रभुपदा प्रभुपदा प्रभुपदा, जय प्रभुपदा। जय जय गुरुदेव 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 गुरुदेव। निताई गौर प्रेमानंदे। श्री श्री राधा गोपीनाथ भगवान की, श्री श्री गौर निताई की, श्री गिरिधारी गोपाल की, श्री श्री राधा गोपीजन वल्लभ की, श्री जनार्दन जी महाराज की, ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की, श्रील प्रभुपाद की। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवतीरुत्तमश्लोके Bhaktir Naistiki. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. So welcome to all of you to Radha Gopinath Temple for Sunday Feast program. Today we are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 7, Further Inquiries of Vidura. Text number 18. Artha bhavam vinishchitya pratitasyapi natmanaha tam chapi yushmacharana sevayaham paranude. Artha bhavam vinishchitya pratitasyami natmanaha tam chapi yushmacharana sevayaham paranude. Artha bhavam vinishchitya pratitasyami natmanaha tam chapi yushmacharana sevayaham paranude. Artha bhavam vinishchitya pratitasyapi natmanaha tam chapi yushmacharana sevayaham paranude. Artha bhavam vinishchitya Tapschapi yushmacharana sevayaham paranude. Matajis. Artha bhavam vinishchitya pratitasyapi natmanaha tam chapi yushmacharana sevayaham paranude. Artha abhavam, without substance. Vinishchitya, being ascertained. Paritatasya, of the apparent values. Api, also. Na, never. Atmanaha, of the self. Tam, that. Cha, also. Api, thus. Yushmat, your. Charana, feet. Sevaya, by service. Aham, myself. Paranude, shall be able to give up. Translation. But my dear sir, Vidura is telling Maitreya Muni, but my dear sir, I am obliged to you because now I can understand that this material manifestation is without substance. Although it appears real, I am confident that by serving your feet, it will be possible for me to give up the false idea. Purport. The sufferings of the conditioned soul are superficial and have no intrinsic value. Like the cutting off of one's head in a dream. Yet, although this statement is theoretically very true, it is very difficult for a common man or the neophyte devotee on the transcendental path to realize this practically. However, by serving the feet of great transcendentalists like Maitreya Muni and by constantly associating with them, one is enabled to give up the false idea that the soul suffers from material pangs. Hare Krishna. Om Ajnanatirmirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Guruve Namaha. Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam. Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. This chapter, 3rd canto, 7th chapter. Vidura is discussing with Maitreya Muni. So, a little recap of the previous verses. Vidura is asking, if the Supreme Personality of Godhead is self-satisfied, then why does he create or maintain or destroy this material universe? What is the reason behind it? So Maitreya Muni is answering, Seyam Bhagavato Maya Yannena Virudhyate. With logic and intelligence, we cannot understand all this. All this is display of activities of this world or universe is only by Maya Shakti, the external potency of the Lord. That means the Lord directly doesn't have to do anything with the material manifested universes. It's only by his most wonderful, powerful external energy he is managing everything. It is just the display of his Bahiranga Shakti. But the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna's real identity, is very much different from this material universe and its activities. In the previous lecture, we discussed how the material universe actually is Virat Rupa. Last time we discussed that. So through that he manages everything in the material world. Then Maitreya Muni goes on saying in the 14th verse of this chapter, all kinds of miseries. Now the discussion of miseries take place in between, where Vidura is explaining and expressing that everybody is suffering in the material world due to the basic disease of identifying with the body as oneself. All the miseries pursue after that. Three gunas start affecting, Trividatap, threefold miseries start affecting. Action takes place, maybe from the point of view of bodily identification. Then those activities turn into sinful activities or independent, selfish activities. Then there are reactions, and most of them are the cause of suffering, or they are sufferings only. So Maitreya Muni is saying all kinds of miseries can be mitigated simply by hearing the glories of Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna. That is why one should attentively listen to the Leela of the Lord. It looks so, from material point of view, maybe from the classmates or professional colleagues of all of you, it may appear absolutely abstract or even absurd. What is the connection of the miseries of our activities or material world or life to listening to the story of Krishna? This is childish. But this kind of feelings remain only until one is very strongly attached to the body and to the things of the body, connected to the body as oneself. Moment one comes in association of the Lord and through his devotees, then this becomes very clear. This starts becoming clear. And when you develop the faith that, oh, let me try this, or oh, this may work by hearing the story of the Lord. Actually, when you do it, you and me and everybody else will come to a practical realization that it is true. In the beginning, it may be for that much time for which you are hearing the katha. But later on you will understand that when you will be attached and you will develop the taste for the divine pastimes of the Lord of various holy places, the effect of freedom from miseries remain even beyond your time duration of hearing the katha of the Lord. It's all up to you, how you take it. There is nothing wrong or nothing limited about the effects of the Leela of the Lord. What makes it limited is our approach to it, our substance of faith that we have in this fact that the Leela of the Lord can cure all the miseries. We will get the effect. So the shloka yo yatha mam prapadyante is also applicable here. It's not necessarily only the Lord's personality this shloka applies. Because Lord's personality is not different from the activities of the Lord. Nama Rupa, Leela and Dham. So the same rule applies to Rupa also, and Leela also, and Dham also. Dham also is personal and a person and responds to you as per your faith. Very simple. So Vidur say, oh, it's very wonderful to know this. As if Vidur doesn't know anything. Vidura is very kind person. He is acting on behalf of all of us. Like Arjuna is asking, who am I? Or like Sanatana Goswami is asking, Ke ami? Who am I? As if they doesn't know anything. They are acting on behalf of all of us. Like our dear His Grace Mahaprabhuji would always ask question after every lecture. And then it appears that so many years have passed, we are asking same question again and again. Why is that? They are asking question for himself. He is asking question looking at the congregation that is gathered here. Like in Naimisharanya or in the banks of Ganga, when Bhagavatam was being recited, all kinds of variety of people were there. They are not all pure devotees, which Shukdev Maharaj was addressing. So this question is, this particular statement made by Vidurji is out of his humility and also out of his compassion for all the conditioned souls who may like to know or who should know. On his behalf he is asking question, he is receiving answer, and as soon as he is receiving answer he is also responding as if he is a neophyte. So what he is saying, oh, very wonderful to know this. Now what we have to understand is this particular activity of liking to hear the glories of the Lord. What is it compared to? There are many spiritual activities, right? We read Vedas, we read scriptures, we read many Upanishads, we read so many spiritual literatures. Then we perform Agnihotras, so many Karmakandi activities are there that we perform to somehow to aim at mitigation of our current miseries. Do this, do that. If you have this problem, do this yagya. If you have this problem, recite this shlokas. If you have this problem, go to this particular holy place and do this vidhis and kriyas. If we do all kinds of charities, then what we do is we do charity. And charities are many kinds. charity in the form of wealth, charity in the form of knowledge, charity in the form of clothes, charity in the form of many things are there, many types of charities. And many people do charities in expectation of at least mitigation of miseries. If I do, or whatever wrong I have done, please, my Lord, please forgive me, or give some discount to me. So there is jnana, then there is yagyas, agnihotras, then there is dana, charity. All these things cannot match inducing one to follow the path of bhakti for Sri Krishna. This is what is mentioned. We may do everything, and we are doing so much time, energy, money, everything is being spent in that. But if we do these things, and along with that, if we induce one person and inspire that person to do bhakti for Krishna, all these activities are actually minimized. I mean, they are actually not having that much value compared to the induction of somebody into chanting of the holy names or performing bhakti activities. There is no higher activity than this. There is no charity, there is no austerity, no vrata, no yajna, or no study of Veda which can ever equal helping or inspiring someone to do kirtan of the holy name or to hear about Sri Krishna. How wonderful it is, right? And all of us should know also, all of us should know that doing charity and doing yajna and studying Vedas and doing agnihotras are difficult things. Even compared to the difficulty of doing those things which appear to be very, powerful, this activity of preaching is not that difficult. Of course, difficulty is everything in life, but it is comparatively much easier if one is very sincerely trying to tell something. We should not do this inspiring activity to others to chant the holy name mechanically because we have been told. We should do it from heart. In fact, anything that we have in bhakti that we are supposed to do or we want to do should be done always from the heart only. Never do any activity of bhakti just superficially or on the level of indriyas or the level of mind. Always do all these activities at the level of the soul, at the level of the heart. Again, when we do these activities at the level of the heart, then you get the fullest benefit. Because bhakti is the matter of the heart. Bhakti is not matter of the mind. Of course, mind is a media, but it is a matter of heart. It's a matter of involving the soul, our self. That is why it is explained. Now we come to our practical situation. All of us grihasthas should make sure that our wife and our children remember the Lord first. We should make sure that they have remembered the Lord, done their chanting, even before feeding them. Make sure that they are on the path in connection with the Lord. Simply maintaining body, feeding, educating, paying the fees, clothing them and taking them to picnics and entertaining them and making them happy is not the only goal of Grihastha life. See what the great souls are saying. Before even feeding them and maintaining them, one should make sure they remember the Lord. If a Grihastha does not attend to this most important duty of his in Grihastha ashram, all his so-called dutiful services to the family are called as adharma. Now, is it not wise enough for us to make our activities meaningful and fruitful? Whatever we are only doing, right? Engaging our time, energy, money, everything, resources to do our so-called duties, and then we render them fruitless or useless. Why? Because we don't connect it to the Lord or do it for the pleasure of the Lord or directly induce them in bhakti. Now, moment you do this, you encourage and engage your family members in Krishna consciousness, all that you do for them is counted in Krishna consciousness. All that you do for them is counted in bhakti only. Credits of bhakti, credit points of bhakti. Otherwise, it goes in the kartavya, in duty only. And they have its own connotations of giving results. So it is wisdom. It is not something, or I can say it is also selfishness. We should be even selfish enough to do this. So that anyways I have to maintain my family. Anyways I have to feed them. Anyways I have to work hard, earn money, and give my resources to maintain my family, help them to grow, stand on their own feet and survive in the material world. Anyway, I have to do it. Even dogs and cats have to do it. I have to do it in a similar way. But if I have to account all these things in bhakti account, then I have to do this. Make our children chant Hare Krishna. Many people feel nowadays that, let them choose, no? Let them choose. Let them see everything. Why force them to do everything? Many people amongst us, devotees, initiated devotees, they feel that because the children feel and the children give feedback to the parents that you guys are not exposed us to non-vegetarian food. You devotee fathers, parents have not introduced us to tea, coffee or parties or to gatherings outside or to movies or to XYZ things. So we want to know, you became devotee when you were 20. You enjoyed everything for 20 years. And now you want us to be devotees, born devotees, because we are born to you after you became devotees. So this is not fair. Let us explore. And people sometimes feel parents ki, yeah, let them explore. But nikatastha maya tore jhapatiya dhore. When you are away from Krishna, exploring anything, away from Krishna, it is only Maya which will capture you. It is not Krishna that will capture you. Maya's job, I told you in the beginning only, the whole Leela here in the material world is controlled by Durga Devi, who is under the guidance of Krishna, but primarily the local authority is more powerful. Is it not true? What do you see? When you make your children chant, they will crib, they will complain to their friends or to the neighbors. Okay, my father is very, very harsh. All of us have to go through that. But at the end of the story, if they surrender their lives to the feet of Krishna, they also feel happy in the end. It's not that they don't feel happy. And you also feel satisfied. But at the end of giving the freedom to all of them, all freedom to them, if they don't choose to become Krishna conscious, then what will happen? They may fall and get some injuries, and then they may get the realization, oh, I should chant. So do you want us to undergo a severe disaster in life to come to the realization of, I should do this? What is the best way of becoming devotee? By the will, by the choice. Or the another degree of way of becoming a devotee of the Lord is to get nice kicks from Maya in the form of disaster, in the form of accidents, in the form of losses, in the form of very painful situations of the body and mind. And then we realize, oh, so why do you impact that activity of disaster which comes in our life is actually the mercy of the Lord, looking at the parents who are sincerely praying, my Lord, make my devotees, make my children devotees. They are not chanting, please. And we keep telling them, I don't listen. Then Maya comes and gives a nice slap. Then they wake up. Because the culture and Sanskruti and the induction is there indirectly. But my only question is, why wait for a disaster to come to such natural realization, which can be readily accepted from parents? So to parents I am saying, even though the children may reject your suggestions or your requests or your desires and don't follow and don't chant, make them chant. His Holiness Devamrut Swami Maharaj had come to my house and told one time in discussion about all these things, he said, to your children you should always tell, okay, this is the rule of this household. You are in this household. When you compare us with that household, you are not in that household, you are in this household. And this is what we eat, this is what we wear, and this is what we provide. This is our capacity of provision. And we chant Hare Krishna. And you have to chant Hare Krishna because you belong to this household. It may not be palatable to children at that moment of time, but it is good for them. That is why one should not hesitate in telling the children what is good for them, even if they criticize you or they don't like you. Because at the end of the day, you will like to see them going back to Godhead, and they also will be understanding they are going back to. So, so my point was that doing everything dutifully, but not being able to make the children become Krishna conscious is defined as adharma. The biggest dharma is to help induce, inspire family members, friends, and everyone else to chant the names of the Lord and to hear about the Leela of the Lord and to take shelter of the Lord. So this is what brings us to this point, this sloka. In the previous sloka, Vidura is saying, thank you very much. By your mercy, I have understood this. By your mercy, by your association, I have understood that the material world has no intrinsic value. The material world has no substance. Everybody is suffering because they are attached to this body and to this material world. And even that suffering is not real because it exists and remains only till the time the soul remains attached to the body and the material world. When the soul gets detached truly from the body identification, then the suffering also appears to be illusion. And Prabhupada gives a very beautiful example. Yesterday night also I was sleeping in the temple. I got a dream that a very ghastly, dangerous looking snake came in my rug, which I was sleeping with or sleeping on my body, covering my body. So in that dream only I threw the rug out of my bed. And when I woke up in the morning, I saw the rug on the ground. And then I realized, oh, there was a snake in the night, in the dream. Where is the snake? There is no snake. And sometimes we find somebody is murdering us. And these dreams are coming quite often. Somebody is stabbing you, somebody is strangling you, or you are undergoing an accident on the road, and you are in a blood and a mess, and somebody is picking you up, and you are watching everything, out of the body experience, all kinds of things. Because we keep hearing, material world, what news are coming constantly. This is flood there in India, in Texas, and this, and Nasik, and Uttar Pradesh, and Palghar, and then so many vehicles got flooded away, and then there is a fire in California, and then there is a war in Ukraine, and so many things are coming. Not a good news is any time coming. In Pandharpur, newspaper came one day, and a supplement of 2 pages came, specifically dedicated to Pandharpur only. So I was expecting Ashadh Ekadashi news and so many kirtanas and so many palkis and so many devotees and varkaris. But the full 2 pages were filled with only murders and rapes and jumpings and suicides and accidents. So even if there is some good news, the material world will always give bad news only to you through media and newspapers. And then they affect us. It's not that I'm reading it casually. No, it affects me emotionally. And then the dreams come. And in the dream also, dream is true. So there also we are suffering. So what is the solution to this? Don't give your ears and eyes to such kind of news for much time in the day. In a planned way, give in an organized way time for your ear and eyes or your senses to be with the Lord, to be about in the subject of the Lord. It's all the calculation. You have suppose 100 points of possible attention in you for any things. And if you use that 100 points attention, 75 to Krishna and 25 to the material world, then what will dominate? 75. And if you give your attention capability 75 to the material world and 25 to Krishna, then what will dominate? 75. So choice is yours, anytime. Even what dreams you can get or you should get or you will get depends upon what you do with the 100 points in a day. Where you invest your time and where you invest your capability of attention. To what point? You can decide what dreams you can get. And if you make all the 100 points about Krishna, which is like most impractical from the material point of view, how can it be possible? Your friends will tell you, your devotee friends will tell you, this is too much. This is not practical. We should be practical. But if you do that 100%, even your dreams will be Krishna conscious. Maybe Krishna will come and play flute in your dream. He will swing in the jhula, like Savan month is going on now in Vrindavan. Whatever stories you hear, if it really impacts you, if you hear attentively, that story may appear in your dream. It's quite possible. Marathi may say, Mani vasete swapni dise. What lies in the mind is seen in the dream. Even sometimes very funnily also. Prabhupada says, if you see gold, you are wearing gold chain. And then you go and while traveling you see the mountain. And in a funny way you get a dream that you see a golden mountain in the dream. It means this chain of gold and that mountain is combined together and is shown to you as a mountain of gold. And you get a, wow, I saw the mountain of gold, but nothing is true. Neither the cutting of head in the dream is true, neither the snake in the dream is true, neither the mountain of gold is true. Nothing is true. When you wake up to the reality, nothing exists. What exists is you as part and parcel of Krishna. So, Vidura is saying now in this chapter, yes, now I understand the sufferings of the conditional soul are all superficial, only based on the bodily identification. And I have no value actually. Because suppose I got very less marks in mathematics when I was 10-year-old in 5th standard in my school. That time I cried and cried and cried. Or in one of the semesters, in one of the classes, I didn't get the first rank, I got second rank in the mid-term examination. And I cried like anything. And today, at this age, after I've done my schooling, college, graduation, service, everything, marriage, everything is over now. And I think about that, I just laugh. That time I was crying like anything, and I am just laughing at it. Why? Because we understand it has no intrinsic value. It has no substance. It's all relevant that time. So even today, whatever you are going through, you may feel, oh, it's so big. But from the point of view of eternity of time, everything is insignificant. And this is the way only we should see everything in life. Okay, everything will come and everything will pass. Nothing will remain stagnant. Whatever miseries we are undergoing today also will pass one day. With the flow of time, everything passes. When the flood comes, it takes the leaves, it takes the wood, it takes the car, it takes the bus, it takes everything away. Whatever is not carryable also is carried by the flood. Normal flow of water doesn't carry when the flood comes. So time is like flood only. Time will carry everything with it. Only we are attached to it, so we are cribbing and we are cribbing. Oh, I lost, I suffered. This is the beauty of Krishna consciousness. When you become Krishna conscious, you come to know factually, practically, on the level of experience, that this is all temporary. But, even Prabhupada says and Vidura says also, it is very difficult for a common man to understand this. And also to a devotee who has just become a devotee. It is very difficult to understand. These all are having no intrinsic value. All these sufferings are temporary. Because when you are suffering from fever, it is a real thing. You may say you are not this body, but at that time you are the body. I was with one Swami 3 months back, and he said after so many years of sadhana, I have come to a realization that actually I am this body. Because the effects of the body or the experience of the body are real at that time. When I am suppose having cough now or in the abdominal pain while giving lecture, the pain is real to me, it's preventing me from giving lecture. If I fall down and my leg gets hurt, I can't walk anymore, I have to get support from fellow devotees. It is a fact. How can you say you are not this body at that time? Maybe if that time you say you are not this body, the person may slap you or kick you with the same foot. Because that time it is reality for him. Very difficult. So, all the things which are actually temporary and unreal, they appear to be real when we are in the neophyte stage of bhakti. So what we should do when we are in this condition? You cannot claim that I have advanced enough now to all time understand I am not this body. And all these so-called bodily sufferings and connected to body, the sufferings are all unreal. No, sir. Very difficult. Extremely difficult. So to make this difficult thing easy, now Vidura has understood from Maitreya that if we serve the great devotees, we please such great devotees. Now, why I am writing in these steps? Because sometimes even the seva can become mechanical. I have been told to go and serve this sannyasi who has come, so I am serving as a matter of duty. So what will happen when you do only as matter of duty? The next step that is required, the pleasure of that devotee whom we are serving does not take place. Service is done mechanically, but the pleasure which is supposed to be achieved by that seva is not achieved. That is why we have to separate all these things and understand it analytically, exactly how things are to be done to achieve exactly what we need to achieve. So serving great devotees. So let us start analyzing this only. How many of you are getting opportunity to serve pure devotees? Very difficult. That also, because pure devotees are not available every time. So we should not give up serving because we are not having any pure devotees around. As per Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's definition of devotees, all devotees who chant Hare Krishna are devotees. All devotees who chant constantly Satatam Kirtayantu Mam are devotees. All devotees who make others chant Hare Krishna are also devotees. Different levels of devotees. So we have to keep serving them. Now in 20th sloka, which is going after some time, coming, it is explained that people with meager tapasya or meager austerity or vrata cannot attain the opportunity to serve pure devotees. Gadbad hai na? If we live Krishna conscious life in comfort zone, just comfortable Krishna conscious. Get up whenever you can, chant whenever you can. What has been told during initiation? In a day you have to chant 16 rounds. At initiation this is told. In lectures we hear we have to get up in the morning, but I am tired, so I can get up whenever my 7 hours are over. Even if I am up, I will not get out of bed because 7 hours are not over. And then I will take bath peacefully, enjoy the shower, warm, cold, whatever I have, and then I come out. And whenever I am ready, if I get hungry, I will drink milk or biscuits, and then I will start chanting. And then if I feel like looking at mobile, I will look at mobile, and gradually I will chant. There is no hurry. And I will do seva when it is possible. I am not going to do seva because I have to do it. This is called as comfort zone Krishna consciousness. Comfort zone Krishna consciousness is always addicted to many comforts that we have achieved in life by working hard. So when we work hard to achieve some great resources and then we get addicted to the enjoyments of those resources, what happens is Krishna consciousness is the first thing that gets diluted to the maximum. And you don't even realize that. You still feel, I am a devotee, I put tilak, I wear dhoti kurta, I go to temple often sometimes, I chant Hare Krishna every day, I read also. But everything is at comfort. Nothing is enough to develop taste for anything that you do. So that is why it is mentioned in 20th sloka, which you must read. One cannot attain service to pure devotees unless there is sufficient austerities in the account of that person. And what is the meaning of austerities for us in the people of Kali Yuga or maybe of Bombay or Delhi or Madras? We are not expected to leave home, leave jobs, leave family, wear one cloth, go to Himalayas, stay in the cave, eat one carrot one day, and chant whole day, Om. That's not expected. What is expected is very simple. I mean, I constantly keep thinking about this, and I constantly feel I'm so fortunate in the movement of Prabhupada, because Srila Prabhupada has made this concept of tapasya in current life so simple and easy. Don't eat meat, no hinsa. Shuchi, no illicit sex. No intoxication, don't take any intoxications, and don't gamble. This is the Kali Yuga austerity, which is very common. Even people are told Prabhupada, impossible, we just cannot. These four things we are telling, this is the way of our life, this is substance of our life. We are saying no substance in life, we say full substance is there in life. But then they only followed it so nicely, and it became part of their life. I mean, no eggs, no tea, coffee, no wine. It's like, fine, it's all good. Because then we came to know something more is there beyond all these things. When I do these things, there's a treasure beyond, which is much more tastier than what I was doing before. So the only austerity that we have to follow, Srila Prabhupada writes in these purports that these are the four things we have to follow. Nishedas. And one vidhi to chant Hare Krishna. And also Prabhupada writes at many points, the biggest austerity and tapasya in Kali Yuga is not going to the cave and eating one carrot per day. Is to be attentive to the chanting of Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. It is easy to chant, but difficult to attend to it, to the every name. It is also easy to attend to the name by practice, but it is difficult to address or call to that person by that name. I can say Hare Krishna, but then I am attending to the holy name, but next step is to call the Lord. O Lord, O Radhe, O Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. And ultimately the whole Mahamantra is made to call. The Mahamantra is, yes, it is to be chanted, but basically it is a call. It's a call, helpless call of a conditioned soul to the Lord to deliver him or her from the clutches of Maya. If that call is not there, the effect of the Mahamantra also will not be there. We need to learn to call each mantra. 1728 times we chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra every day. We are supposed to chant. And if you count the 16 words in that, it comes to almost a lakh, little less than lakh or more than lakh. So many times we are taking the name, and each time we are supposed to call the person, Radha or Krishna. Ram as Lord Ram, or Lord as Balram, or Ram as Krishna himself. But you have to keep calling, my Lord, I'm calling you. Are you hearing? My Lord, I'm calling you, my Lord. Generally when we call, we expect somebody to listen to us, or to respond to us. We can't just go on calling, 1 lakh times a day, and we don't get any response. And we are okay with that. That means we are foolish. Right? If I call Sri Gaurang Prabhu, maybe I want him to respond in one name only. And if he doesn't, I get angry that 4 times I called you. 4 times I made phone call to you. You never responded. It's insult. And we call the Lord 1 lakh times a day, and if you don't get any response, we are okay with it. How ridiculous is that, right? So we have to practice calling. And actually I am telling you, when we call, we cannot sleep. We can sleep when we chant mechanically. We can sleep when we chant mechanically. But actually when you call somebody, you cannot sleep. So many people ask me, Prabhuji, how to not sleep during chanting? I said, you call, then you will not sleep. Your real, क्या कहते हैं ना हिंदी में word है, kashish, there is a urge in your call. Urge cannot make you sleep when you are calling with urge. So, if this kind of tapasya is in your life, why I told all this thing to you? Because I am referring to the shloka of enough tapasya. If this much austerity is there, that I want to sleep during chanting, but I want to call and not sleep during chanting, that is biggest tapasya. And when you do that tapasya, you will get across a pure devotee, you will get some seva to a pure devotee, and you will be able to please the devotee. And while you do all this tapasya, you have to cultivate the desire to get the association of a pure devotee. Then when you get the association of pure devotee, you should pray to be able to serve that pure devotee. And when you get to serve that pure devotee, you should pray that by my service, that devotee should be pleased. These are very important analytical points in the seva that we do. All seva is meant to please. No seva is just for seva only. All seva is supposed to be pleasing to the person to whom we are serving. And then the next step to that is that we associate with that pure devotee. One is through seva, that is mainly through senses, like we are washing clothes or cooking or serving or making the room, whatever seva is being. One is direct and second is indirect. The Guru Maharaj is there in America and some seva is given to you, do this here. And we are doing that, we are following the Vani of, one is we are serving the Vapu when physically available, and second seva is Vani. There is most likely all of us will be getting that, because we cannot expect Vapu seva, physical seva every time. So we should understand, by listening to Hari Katha and to Bhagavat and to Satsang regularly, that what is important is seva, not necessarily physical seva. That means following the instructions. So this is the all ingredients of seva. And then further things, let me tell you, which are very interesting. This is also not enough. If you really come to know what happened in Chaitanya Charitamrita, what happened in Srimad Bhagavatam. Next to pleasure of the pure devotee by seva is becoming dear to the person whom we are serving. That person starts liking you. That person remembers you. That person loves you. That person gets attached to you. That much seva we should do to the Savior, to the person who we are serving, to the object of our service. That the person should remember us. Like Lord Ram remembers Hanuman. Lord Ram remembers Ambarish. Lord Ram remembers Jambuvanta. And there's a big list of people who remember Lord Ram. So Lord Ram has 2 notebooks. In one notebook, all those who remember him are enlisted, and there are thousands and millions. And there's another notebook, because one time that notebook did not have Hanuman's name. So they were surprised, how Hanuman's name is not there? So Lord said, I have another diary in which whom I remember, those names are there. And that Hanumanji's name was there. So our seva, after we get pleasure of the person whom we are serving, should lead to a situation when that person starts liking you and you become dear to that person. So seva is so pleasing. Why I am saying this? Because Dukhi, who was servant of Srivas Thakur, was not known for great lectures and great prachar and great sevas and sadhana and many things. She was not doing any of these things apparently. But she was faithfully and with full chastity serving Srivas Pandit by just giving water whenever required. Our bhais come, maids come, and they do seva in the fixed hours in the morning and they go away. But Dukhi was 24/7, only standing on call. Whenever water is required, she'll take the pot, earthen pot, and go to Ganga and bring water and supply. Like we open the tap and we get water, they were getting water like that. And Dukhi was for years together doing this. And Srivas Pandit was very, very happy with this service because she is doing it such dedication and samarpana. It was not even discussed that, oh, Tuki, you are so wonderful. It is just like heart to heart. She is serving, Srivasa and Malini are accepting. And when Lord Chaitanya came for Mahaprakash Leela, first he called Dukhi, who was unknown to anybody in the world. Today she appears in Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita as the first person to receive the mercy of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in the form of Krishna Prem, in the form of getting mad, in the form of falling unconscious in love of Godhead, instantly by the mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Because she was dear to Lord Srivas Pandit. Now we talk about human being. This is human being example. But a dog, Shivananda Sen was attached to, or the dog was attached to him and he was attached to the dog. So much that, I'm very busy now, serving devotees in the yatra. Please feed the dog, huh? Please feed the dog. Don't neglect him. So attached. And that Shivananda Sen was a pure devotee. Shivananda Sen was such a devotee that many of us will like to become devotee like Shivanand Pandit. You know why? Shivanand Sen. Why? He was a rich guy. He had so much money that he had enough money for himself and enough money to even take care of devotees on yatra, pay for them, food, stay, travel, taxes, everything. So, I was discussing with Madhvanand Prabhu yesterday that nobody likes to become Kholvecha Sridhar or Sudama Vipra or Shuklambar Brahmachari. Nobody wants to become. But if at all you can become Shivananda Sen, it's good actually. Because everything is fine. But Shivananda Sen was not like that. Even to the dog he was very caring. And the dog was attached to him, he was attached to the dog. And he got busy and he was neglected by the caretaker. And then Shivananda Sen came after some time, after his seva, everything, looking after devotees, all things were settled, taxes settled, quarrels settled at the, check posts, everything. He was looking, where's my dog, where's my dog? And lo and behold, what did he see? He saw Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu serving the coconut pulp by his own hand to that dog. And that too, after eating a part of it, he was feeding the dog. Can you imagine? Once you become dear to a pure devotee, what is the fate of that person? This is the fate of that person. And Shivananda Sen was in ecstasy. I was thinking my dog is neglected, and he was neglected by the caretaker. But the Lord has noted that my dear devotee Shivananda Sen loves this dog. So Lord was feeding him. And he was peacefully sitting, nicely folding his legs, sitting down and just waiting. Lord is feeding him personally, imagine. And the very next day, the dog went back home, back to Godhead. Haribol! So I am describing all this elaborately to you only for one reason, to take the seva very seriously. Whenever we get. And if you don't get direct seva to a pure devotee, do seva to the devotee of the devotee, to the servant of the devotee. And that's another vow we take, especially in our temple. I will serve in the mission of Srila Prabhupada as Dasanu Dasanu Das, the servant of the servant of the servant. And in our Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's philosophy, the fourth degree or fifth degree or sixth degree of Dasanu Das that you do, more powerful your seva will be, registered by Lord Chaitanya. If you serve directly, okay, very good, you are fortunate. If you don't get directly, then that person's, when we want to serve Radhanath Swami, we don't get seva, then we want to help Braj Chandra Prabhu to do his seva. And then we don't get something directly with him also, then we will look after seva for his assistant who is serving him to serve. And then we try to help him. There are many devotees who do that when Maharaj goes to Vrindavan and all. Some people are unseen, unknown. They go much ahead in time and set Maharaj's room, and then Maharaj will come. Sometimes they will set one room and suddenly Maharaj will change the room and go to different ashram, and they will run ahead of time to different ashram and make the room before, and they will not be seen only anywhere. They will not be known. They don't even expect Mahaprasad. They don't expect anything. And as per our philosophy, they are the best devotees. Unseen and unexpecting, but available. Invisible and available. That is the highest servant. Not expecting anything in return. If I do this seva, I should get some Mahaprasad of Maharaj, or I should get some Mahakloth or whatever. No expectations. I'll tell you, when you expect something, you get a limited benefit. But you don't expect anything, your benefit is unlimited. Because the person becomes obliged to you. If I pay you 200 rupees for my seva, then my contract is over. There is no attachment. But you refuse to take 200, then I feel, what can I give? Then I will think, okay, I'll bring him some Radharani's Mahaprasadam cloth. Or when I go to Barsana, I'll bring Mahaprasad for him. Or I will save Charanamrut for him. So is the 200 better or that is better? Because the heart is involved in this. When Vyavahar is involved in this, it becomes limited. When the heart is involved in this, it becomes unlimited. And if you don't take your benefit or your reward, then the person is lifetime obliged. He will keep giving because you have not taken that stipulated reward that you are supposed to take. And that is wisdom. You start thinking of that person. You start praying for that person. You start collecting things for that person. You remember that person when you are traveling to holy places. And you remember to come and give that benefit to that person. That is why we have to do meditation on our available sevas. Corollary to this discussion of Maitreya Muni and Vidura, when we have no inclination or interest in the topics or experiences of pleasures in the material world. I repeat again. When we have no interest or inclination to the topics of or to the experiences of the pleasures of the material world, then only we can chant the holy name of the Lord constantly, which I told as austerity, right? One of the difficult austerities. And the goal of life is to be able to chant constantly, right? Kirtaniya Sadahari. What we say in third verse. That we want to chant consistently, continuously, constantly the holy name of the Lord. For that, what is coming in between is interest or inclination to the topics of the material world or the pleasures of material world. Let us face it very honestly. I'm talking about myself, I'm not talking about all of you. But honestly, I'm telling you that there is still faith in our mind, in the corner of the mind, after hearing thousands of lectures and really getting impressed by the lectures, sometimes tears coming out of the eyes after that lecture, but still we have faith that there is pleasure in the material world. How? Yes, I'm a devotee and I'm struggling with my finances, my income is becoming less, I'm losing more money than what I'm earning, and there are many outgoings of sickness and illnesses, and many things are there, and my income is less. So I convincingly think, if only I get more money, I can solve my miseries. Isn't that true? Most of us think like this. Only if I get this much now, then I think problems will be solved. That means what? I am still maintaining the faith in the material world to be free from my miseries. But one time that money also comes that you need, which you think will solve all the problems. But actually, the problems will never be solved. Because material world is fully equipped to give you continuous variety of miseries regularly. One ends and the next one starts, which we never expected. Because it is meant to give misery. When you put your hand in a engine or a car for repairing, you are bound to get black because of the soot of the grease. When you enter a coal mine for your seva, you may enter with white dress, but you will not come back with white dress. You will come back with black dress. Because you are entering a coal mine, that you should know. How much you can save yourself. On the day of Holi, how much ever you do effort to save yourself from holy colors, on the day of the Holi, you can't prevent getting stained with colors. Because you are moving around on the day of Holi. Because I had one time on 17th March 1995, I had gone to give interview for going abroad in one hotel Kempinski from this temple on the day of Holi. I was going interviews, I am not supposed to be stained. I wore so many jackets and everything to somehow remove and be clean. But it is not possible. It was not possible. So similarly, in the material world, no matter what you do to solve your situation, the situation will not be solved, and you may think it is solved, it will be cause of the new situation of misery. Your solution will be another problem. You do some solution, like nowadays we give chemotherapy to cancer, right? We give in hospitals, one of the so-called bona fide therapies of cancer. But many people say, I will rather die of cancer, but I don't want to die of the chemotherapy side effects. Because the solution is itself so miserable, many a times in the material world. If you are lucky, then you may make some solution and you may be free of the problem. That is very, very rare, but sometimes it may happen to delude you further. Yes, see, I did some solution, I was away from miseries. And you will have faith that my solutions will be keeping me free from miseries. But it is not like that. The material world is always ready with unexpected, unimaginable varieties of miseries. Anybody imagined that the flight will take place and in 45 seconds it will crash in a building? Well, somebody is eating his lunch in the hostel, in the medical college. Anybody expected? I mean, it's unheard of. But now it is not unheard of, that you know now. It can fall in the building also. It can fall on the medical college hostel also. It would have fallen in the medical actually college, in the hospital. Then all the patients who are already taking treatment for their problems, thinking that I'll get well, they will get finally well. They are there so that they are taking treatment to get well. The flight can fall on that also. Who can say now that it is not possible? This is impossible. Now they have to accept it. So everything that you think impossible can become possible in the material world by the power of Maya, the power of external energy of the Lord. That is why till the time all our devotees, all of us should meditate that I should be convinced from within the heart, core of the heart, that no matter what I do in the material world, my miseries will not be solved by any solutions. My miseries will be solved only by Krishna consciousness. That faith is not so easy to get. It is very difficult to get. Because we think, we should be practical, yaar. We should be practical. We are in medical profession, we are in this, we are in that, we are doing so many things, we are educated. So we should be practical. Yeah, you chant Hare Krishna. But how chanting Hare Krishna will help you to get free from disease? By the way, even by chanting Hare Krishna, your cancer will not get cured. I am giving you a blanket statement. What will happen by chanting Hare Krishna? The effect of that misery on you will not take place. Things will not change in the material world. You are not having any power, even by the maximum power of your sadhana, to change any events of your life. No event of your life will change. Because we have come with the set of karma, right from the time of our birth. We have brought our stock. And we will have to go through that. It can be edited by the Lord, but it cannot be nullified by the Lord. So how does Lord nullify it? By first editing if possible, if He feels like, in His authority. And if something is not editable, then what He will do? By His mercy on us, He will not have the effect of that misery on you. That means you will be transcendental. So what does Vidura say here? By serving great souls, one at once gets freed from sufferings. That means what? I am saying something else only now. I am saying exactly opposite things. Kleshagni is the first symptom of bhakti. And I am saying no. Yes, that no also is right and yes also is right. Why? Because kleshas are going to be there, but kleshagni will happen because you will not be affected. You will rise above. And at some below level, so you will find that things are happening. and you will be above that. So we have no power to correct our kleshas or mitigate our kleshas. We only have power to transcend the kleshas, and that is by the mercy of a pure devotee. One can transcend. And what will happen simultaneously when you are rising above the level of miseries and going above the level where there is no misery? One simultaneously develops transcendental ecstasy of spiritual life. So when you give up this level by the mercy of Guru and pure devotees and Krishna and go above, immediately you will feel the ecstasy of spiritual life. And that will actually motivate you to continue your spiritual life. Now one nice thing I will tell you, which I have been really happy to know through satsangs, is that when we serve our Guru Maharaj, what we say, there are many definitions of bhakti. Many types and many levels we can give what is bhakti, how you can define bhakti. One of the definition of bhakti is Guru Mukha Padma Vakya Chittete Koriya Ekya. That's all. If you understand this matter, but there's a asterisk, you have to have a guru for that. I can't tell to a common man walking on the road, Guru Mukha Padma Vakya. Sir, Guru ही नहीं तो Padma Vakya कहाँ से आएगा? But those who have already undergone the process of niyam, following the niyamas and chanting, qualifying, and finally receiving the mercy and getting initiated, and you have a guru now. If you don't have direct instruction, you have some instruction, chant Hare Krishna attentively, serve the devotees, be dasanudas, follow regulatory principles. And we are really focusing on following those instructions. What actually happens? What is the benefit of fully surrendering to the instruction of Gurudev and following to the 100% capacity? The benefit is that you will lose the faith in the material world as your solution to the problem. The faith that we are harboring now, that there is some hope in the material world which will solve our miseries. That is our faith right now. That faith that we have in the material world as a method of solving our miseries will be lost by serving Guru Maharaj. That is the power of Guru Maharaj. Guru Maharaj's power is not that I got Diksha, so I got promotion, I got increment, I didn't have a son, I got a son, I got a good job, I went abroad, I never went abroad before. After Diksha, I could go abroad. These are not the benefit of getting a spiritual master. Or my cancer got cured, or my this disease got cured. After Diksha, na, all karmas are taken away, so I got cured of my heavy ailment. None of this is supposed to be the benefit of Diksha. The benefit of Diksha and by benefit of serving Guru Maharaj sincerely is losing the faith in the material world. And to the extent we serve our spiritual master attentively, faithfully, that will occur. If we serve our spiritual master or the Vaishnavas mechanically, then partially it may happen or slowly it may happen. But if we really do it nicely, you don't even have to get a personal instruction. Oh, he has got so much association, you have got so much association, you have got received so many instructions. We are not even getting a chance to see also spiritual master. But everybody of us have got basic instructions. To follow that, it may take lifetimes perfectly. To follow the instructions perfectly of chanting Hare Krishna and four principles, it may take lifetime for us, or many lifetimes. And we still say that I don't have instruction. That is enough. Because when we do follow those instructions attentively and never meet spiritual master physically to get one-to-one association, at the end of our life, the spiritual master will be there in spirit, in power, to deliver you from the clutches of death and send you back to Godhead. I am telling you with full confidence and experience, because I have seen how the spiritual master, not only my spiritual master, many other spiritual masters come to rescue their disciples at the last moment of time. Apparently the devotee has never met the spiritual master one-to-one. He may have complained also. He must have complained to counselor also. But I have seen that the spiritual master, when he initiates, he is responsible for that soul to go back to Godhead. I have seen His Holiness Niranjan Swami Maharaj. I have seen His Holiness Sachidanand Maharaj. I have seen Radhanath Maharaj umpty number of times. Because Fortunately, I am in the seva of hospice and palliative care, which deals with death and dying. So when somebody goes to really about to die, I do make a call to their spiritual masters or my spiritual master for my god brother or for them for their spiritual master. I do all that and I see how promptly they come in the picture and do the needful. Many a times on this asana, suddenly, and this asana is now small, there was a longer asana before, and many spiritual masters would sit here and give lectures on Sunday. So I have seen Niranjan Swami Maharaj, Radhanath Swami Maharaj, and many 2-3 people are sitting, and suddenly Radhanath Maharaj just gets up and goes. And then we are waiting, and then we ask to Niranjan Maharaj, what happened? No, some devotee needs him, so he has gone. So that devotee is not here who needs him. He is dying somewhere in Russia. And he has gone to attend a phone call or to pray or to whatever he wants to do. He has gone to do that. And at times like 1 a.m. in the morning, I know this story is black and white. Suddenly, His Holiness Niranjan Maharaj gets up and starts walking in the veranda, chanting Hare Krishna intently. Why? Because some of his disciples is dying in Ukraine. And that devotee was struggling with last moments of life. When Krishna woke up his Guru Maharaj, and Guru Maharaj intently prayed for him, calling out the names of the Lord. Like I told you, calling. It was a real calling in the middle of the night, from the middle of the sleep, to deliver that soul who is thousands of miles away, but leaving this body and the world, to deliver him back to Godhead. Spiritual Master is praying. So we have to be sure that everything works spiritually here. In the movement of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, in the movement of our Srila Prabhupada and the Acharyas that we have, what we are receiving here is not just, something which is, like everybody is available with. It's not like that. Here, when we surrender our life to the spiritual master sincerely, we are taken care of. What is required is to have the power to go through the miseries that we are going to go through anyways. To get the power to transcend those miseries and be Krishna conscious, be blissful in the middle of those miseries, which is all possible by the mercy of spiritual master when we are living. When we are living in this body, it is all possible by the mercy of Guru. To be able to transcend and to be able to be blissful also in the middle of the miseries while we are living. And when death comes, we will be delivered by the mercy of spiritual master. So when Vidura is saying here, it's a very deep, very heavy, loaded statement. What he is saying? He is saying, I am now confident that by serving your feet, it will be possible for me to give up this false idea that material world will be giving pleasure to me. That means by serving the lotus feet, Syan Mahat Sevaya Vipra Punya Tirtha Nishevanat. What does that mean? When we serve Mahatmas, the real Mahatmas are defined by Krishna only. Mahatmanastu Mam Partha Daivim Prakrutim Ashritaha. One who has surrendered himself and taken shelter of the spiritual master and Sri Krishna. He is called Mahatma. And when we Syan Mahat Sevaya, when we serve such Mahatmas who have surrendered their lives to the feet of the lotus, feet of the Lord and the devotees, in life we will get a ruchi for the Lord first. Okay, Vasudeva Katha Ruchi we will get. We don't have ruchi, we don't have ruchi for name, don't have ruchi for katha, we will get that ruchi while we are living. And we continue like that, at the end of the life, that ruchi will take you back to Godhead. So all the time, from the time of initiation, we are all enveloped in the mercy of the spiritual master. And the mercy will be realized to the extent of your sincerity and surrender. If your sincerity and surrender is 100%, from the day of initiation, you will be in ecstasy. But we take time because we are gradually progressing. But this principle holds true now, tomorrow, the day after tomorrow, till the end of life. That is why we need to hear Bhagavatam read regularly. Because we hear and we forget. We hear, we go through our day-to-day life's experiences and we forget. Again we hear and we forget. Again we hear and forget. What new thing I am telling you on 13th of July 2025? I am not telling you anything new. It's all old, so-called, repeated Gisa-pita knowledge. But why we have to keep on hearing it? Because we are going through changes and variegated changes in our consciousness and our mind and our mood regularly. And to the changing mood of our mind and consciousness, to make it steady, we have to keep on hearing the same thing repeatedly, again and again. Because yesterday we heard with such sincerity, tomorrow we will hear with more sincerity, and more it will strike you within, and deeper it will keep on striking you deeper and deeper when you hear it on different times. Neither the spiritual master is telling anything new to you, nor we are reading anything new. Everything is old. I may tell you, I have got a new story. I will tell you today. Why it is new story? Because you haven't yet heard it. As soon as I tell you, it becomes an old story. If I repeat the story, Prabhuji ne bola tha. He had told this last Sunday. So the story is old only. It happened when Krishna was there. It's an old story only. It was never a new story. Because you didn't know it, it's a new story. Otherwise, all stories that we hear are all old stories only. The old stories will appear new to you every time when you hear, when you get purer and purer. By serving the devotees, you will get purer and purer, and the same old stories will become newer and newer to you. Navanamayaman. Radhashtami is coming, Janmashtami is coming, Balram Jayanti is coming. Are we hearing new stories? The same story. The same Gargamani will come and give names, and same Balvasudev will cross Jamuna and go to Gokul. And the same he will keep the baby and he'll exchange. Everybody knows. But we still come to hear it. Because every time it will give you a new realization. Every time it will help you to transcend much higher than before. Every time you will get much more bliss because you love Krishna. Because you have developed that love by the mercy of a pure devotee and by his seva. So let us all meditate like this. Then each line of Bhagavatam is relevant to you at the utmost practical level. What we began with, miseries of life, hear the stories of Krishna. Absurd. We began with that, absurd. All that absurdity will become real for you. I also can give you a final request before ending our class. We speak all this thing in lecture, that we should take shelter of the Katha of the Lord. It will mitigate all miseries. But when actually miseries come, we don't run to the holy name or run to hear the Katha of the Lord or run to open the Bhagavatam to read Krishna's pastime. We don't do that. We go to the doctor or go to the financier or go to some other situation to solve the misery. But you try this. When you are in utmost misery, you hear Krishna Katha. If you can't read, hear the tape of the spiritual master. Opportunities are available now. As a click of the button, you can hear what you want. And you will see, you will transcend that misery. Now, what is the misery? It is the effect of misery which is miserable. Suppose you lose 2 crores by some burglar's activity. I don't suffer. The reality is that 2 crores are stolen by somebody. But that 2 crores are stolen from my house, how miserable I will be. So what is that? The effect of the event is actually making you suffer. And that effect, the misery will never be taken away from you. Stolen are stolen. But the effect can be stolen away from you by the mercy of the pure devotee and Krishna. So let us all at least try in the middle of the misery to chant the holy name and call the Lord's blessings for his blessings, or hear the Katha of the Lord while simultaneously doing some practical things also. But let somebody else remind us, Prabhu, I do that at home when misery comes. Did you thank Krishna for yesterday's pain? Because we may not remember. Na? It's quite possible when the pain is so overwhelming. I know it, but I may not remember that time. So somebody has to remind, you got pain yesterday and you suffered. Did you thank Krishna? Oh yes, I will thank Krishna. Because you may not thank that time, you can thank tomorrow also. Kunti Devi also did not thank Krishna when poison cake was fed to Arjun or their house was burned. Kunti Devi is thanking Krishna when Krishna is going back to Dwarka. That time she is thanking for everything that happened. And so that is fine. You are allowed to thank little later. That's okay. But do thank. Because moment you thank, you get power to transcend your misery. Please understand. Moment you thank, you will see that you have got some strength within to withstand the misery, the effect of the misery on you. When we can't change anything, we can change at least the effect or effectivity on you. So let us resolve that we will seek shelter of the holy name, of the Katha of the Lord, or of the Seva of the Lord. I can tell you, I can't describe to you details, but of late there was a amazing, bewildering misery. And I was like completely bewildered with that misery. But in 5 minutes of that misery, I got a call that 4 Brajvasis are coming from Barsana to take medical treatment in Bhaktivedanta. And I immediately got busy in arranging all that. And I felt so blissful in 5 minutes. And immediately I told Giriraj Prabhu, see, serving Vaishnavas always frees you from all miseries of life. If this kind of experience is there, how we will not believe that it is true? What more thing you need to believe that serving Vaishnavas releases you from all miseries? It's like most practical experience, first-hand experience. And that in 5 minutes, greatest miserable experience, in 5 minutes you are blissful. That is the power of Sri Krishna, and that is the power of a pure devotee of Sri Krishna also. By coming in contact with that person who is a pure devotee of Krishna, you will get freed from all your miserable effects of life. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. So if there are any questions, you can ask. We started 10 minutes late, so we have 5 minutes more. Rationing of time. So if there is any question, I had many things to tell, but time was not available. Okay, thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Yes, one question is there? Okay.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. I have 2 questions.
One by one.
While disciplining our children in Krishna consciousness, how much we should be strict and how much we should let go?
There has to be always balance of love and discipline. You can't be only disciplined without showing love practically. And you can't show only love without having discipline. Because when you give only love and no discipline, children get spoiled. They get pampered, they don't grow. Grow means within personality. And you are too disciplined, then they become rebellious. So there has to be equal balance of loving activities and discipline. Rather, they can be also bargainable. Love with discipline, discipline with love. You get discipline, then you go give love. And you give love and discipline is expected out of that. I give you this, but I expect this. Like that, it should be all negotiated constantly. And it's not easy. As easily I say it here, it's not easy. But it needs to be done, it's essential, it's mandatory. Second question.
And second question is, as you said, what can we do to actually call the person Radha Krishna?
Again?
What can we do to call the actual person Radha Krishna?
Just call, that's all. Just call. Believe that Krishna is a person. Believe that he hears when you call. And you call. Right now, after this class, we have Kirtan, right? Somebody will come and do Kirtan. What is Kirtan? Calling out the names of the Lord. You stand here and call Radha and Gopinath. Call from the bottom of your heart. You may not get response immediately, but keep calling. And you will get now, then in the course of time, you will get an experience that they hear. and they do the needful also. You may not immediately hear a voice from oblivion. Yes, my dear, I am hearing you. Not like that. But you will start feeling the hand of the Lord in your life. Jethe zato tethe tu maja sangati. You will start realizing that He is with you. He has heard your prayers and He is accompanying you. So, selflessly, without expecting any fruits, you keep calling with the full faith that what Bhagavad Gita says, His eyes are everywhere. His ears are also everywhere. Everywhere He is listening and everything He is watching. With that faith, you call. Like I write messages many times to Guru Maharaj, and he may not respond. But I know He is reading. He will respond when He wants to, and He does respond when He wants to and when it is needed. So when I write, I don't expect, okay, I must get reply. Why I am not getting reply? Similarly, when you call the Lord, you should have faith that He is listening. Do it. It's a wonderful process, I can tell you. If you really call, I have done that in many helpless occasions in life, and it has helped me. So I must tell you, you should do it also. Any other question is there?
No, thank you.
Yes, Nanda Kumar Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, thank you so much for the amazing class.
I'm getting scared that you have got the mic now.
Prabhuji, just I had a question. So, does bhakti give us association of devotees, or does association of devotees give us bhakti? Like, where do we have to start?
It is mutually interdependent. In the beginning we hear and we develop faith and we chant. That gives us association of devotees. Or in the beginning, how we get the faith? Because we hear from devotees in association, right? And with that faith we chant. So we get association. It's like mutually interdependent. You may get faith by hearing something in the katha. Or I may read one book. Many people are there who read the book and they started chanting 16 rounds from book only. And then they met devotees. There are so many stories in Lilamrut also and in our day-to-day life also. So association of devotees and the sadhana prakriya are interdependent. But when they are nicely, interdependently working together, then bhajan kriya takes place, then anartha nivritti takes place, then purification takes place, then everything wonderfully takes place. But we have to see wherever we begin, these two things have to be kept together. Association and the sadhana, which means chanting Hare Krishna and many other things. Is that fine?
Thank you so much, Hare Krishna.
Hari Bol. I am relieved. I was scared actually. Yes, Sri Gaurang Prabhu here. You can ask Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Thank you for a very nourishing class. Touches the heart. So you talked about the heart and the mind, and bhakti is a matter of the heart. But we operate with the mind. We are in terms of...
We work through the mind.
Yeah, okay, we work through. So how does one understand this relationship between the mind and the heart, and how does one, while working with the mind, operate from the platform of the heart?
That is where the intelligence comes in between. What is the role of buddhi? The role of buddhi is to guide the mind. When the buddhi is purified, the mind gets pure guidance. How do we purify the buddhi? By listening to scriptures. Like we bathe our buddhi by the knowledge of scriptures. And with that purified buddhi, the mind is guided to do things from the level of the heart. This is the connection. See, Lord is very kind and He has equipped us with everything what we need. So if there is a need to unite the mind with the heart, there is buddhi available to you. Buddhi is meant to help the mind to connect to the soul or connect to the material world and to senses and to sense gratification. That also buddhi can do. Bhrashta buddhi can ruin you through your mind and senses. And purified buddhi can get you back to Krishna and take you back home. It's all tussle actually. To the extent, like, how clean are you? To the extent you take bath. If you don't take bath, You can say, okay, I took bath on last Sunday. For 1 hour I took bath last Sunday. But what is requirement? To take bath every day and to brahmanas 3 times a day. So similarly, if you heard a class last Sunday and in between you did not hear anything, then buddhi is again getting brashta. Like house you clean every day and if Bai didn't come today, the house is getting dirty today also. Yesterday it was cleaned, but today it is getting dirty again. If you are staying near construction site, then you see how dirty it gets. So what do you require to do? Clean regularly. So what do you require to do? Hear regularly, attentively, to clean your intelligence, to give proper guidance to your mind. Then the mind will, what Krishna says, the mind which is obedient to the instruction of the Lord, he said, Lord is already achieved. So mind uncontrolled will just take you anywhere, unknown destinations. But the controlled mind under the purified intelligence, Krishna says, I am already achieved because I am already present in the controlled mind. That mind which is controlled, I am already there within. So you already achieved me. Forget about going back to Godhead. I am talking about when you are in the life. That is called Jivan Mukta. So how much buddhi is important? How much is important to hear regularly, attentively, every day or regularly at least. This is what we began with, to hear regularly. And that simple fact, if we take it to our heart, bhakti is very simple. No jargon of words, no jugglery, no complicated statements to impress your mind and intelligence. Very simple. Just make it very simple and practice very simply. Everything that you desire will be achievable. Yes.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, thank you so much for today's nourishing discourse. So Prabhuji, when we say that we should associate with devotees, does it mean that we should just hear Krishna Katha in a group of devotees or attend satsang? Or does it mean that we should also have like a one-to-one contact with few devotees?
Both things are required. But finally, you need to have, what is the definition of satsang? There are many, again, types of definitions. Association in the subject of sat. Sat ke vishay mein sang is called satsang. That means with devotees also, you may talk about movies and film stars and cricket and everything. So that's not association. The subject of discussion should be spiritual. One level of definition. Second level of definition, whenever you sit in some assembly and you get inspired to further make progress in your spiritual life, that is real satsang. Simply sitting in the satsang of a pure devotee and hearing the purest of katha ever possible, but you are not in that situation. Your mind is, which cricket match is going on, what score is there, India lost and win, what happened. If mind is like that, then even if you are in the purest of satsang, benefit will not be there. So what are we looking, as we are saying, seva means pleasure, pleasure means attachment, pleasure means becoming dear to a devotee. Like that, satsang means finally you need to seek that inspiration to progress in your bhakti further. That is satsang. So that may be possible in this kind of assembly and somebody speaking, or that may be possible with meeting somebody and sharing your heart and getting inspired by the experience of other to take that inspiration in your life. So both things are important. Dadati pratigunati is also important. Giving gifts and taking gifts. Eating together also is important. But more important is what? Guhyam akhyati pruchhyati. Sitting and opening heart, listening to others' heart. Or sit in the assembly with pure devotee and listen their realization, share with the realization, put your heart into the listening process. Whatever helps you to get inspired, to grow and travel further towards Krishna is satsang.
Hari Bol.
Yes, I think authorities should allow this continuity of question answers. I don't know who is the authority now here.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, you said that when you serve as a matter of duty, the pleasure of the devotee is not achieved. So how should we serve so that pleasure of the devotee is achieved?
We answered, Prabhuji, when we serve, we should serve to the extent of pleasing. And there is no set rules and regulations or formula, 7-point formula to make devotee happy. I mean, There can be, we can put up for a nice seminar, attractive to preach people, but finally we have to see that devotee is pleased. And I tell you something, devotees are very simple people, Prabhuji. They are actually very easily pleased. That is my experience. If we are sincere, then devotees are, whom we are serving, are much simpler and much sincere. They don't expect, okay, let me see how he pleases me. Next 1 month I will make him massage my feet and still I will not show any pleasure. ऐसे devotees नहीं होते हैं. Never they are like that. They are very kind. In fact, when you serve them, they are so obliged and so grateful, and they only offer dandavat to you and thank you million times, like that devotees are. You just try, keep trying, then you will see how easy it is to please the devotees.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की, श्री श्री राधा गोपीनाथ भगवान की, श्रील प्रभुपाद की. Hare Krishna.